Do you smell what The Rock is cooking?
On the question of whether Americans want Donald Trump to run again in 2024, 27% say yes, 72% say no. On the question of Joe Biden running for office, it's nearly identical. 28% say yes, 70% say no. And yet, those are our two most likely nominees for president. Let's just say they don't run though. On the Democratic side, that means Kamala Harris is the presumptive nominee, or Pete Buttigieg. Kamala, the least popular vice president in modern American history. More so than the guy who couldn't spell frickin' potato. On the Republican side, I don't know who it would be, but whomever it would be somebody who had to endorse Trump's Stop the Steal nonsense. In both cases, the problem is this: they would not be capable of actually uniting Americans. While I believe at its core America's problems can only be solved by policy, the problem that we have right now is the inability to even arrive at correct policy outcomes. We have a political incumbency that shrouds their corporate-friendly policy in the veil of the culture war. Joe Manchin and Kyrsten Sinema have only upside to gain from opposing Joe Biden, no matter the issue, because just being opposed itself to the most unpopular president in a long time is popular. Or, when Trump was in power, Democrats could justify and do literally anything because they convinced their base they were opposing fascism. In this reality, we have only one option: throw out the entire existing class of politicians and do something crazy. This was the rationale of Trump 2016. Now look, it didn't work out as planned, but it was a gateway to our future. Our current class of politicians are obsessed with becoming celebrities with large Twitter followings who do podcasts instead of governing. To that, I say, okay, fine, screw it. If this is the way it's gonna be, let's get some real celebrities who are both likable, but also have the capacity, at least, to unite us, at least in rhetoric alone, and discard the existing political class to the dustbin of history. There is a reason that during Trump's time in office, the only person he was truly afraid of running as a Democrat was Oprah Winfrey. That's also why I listened with great interest to a recent conversation Joe Rogan had with Jim Gaffigan, where he described the state of politics and he mentioned who he thinks would win. He said it was Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson, and I agree. I remember many of you thought that I was cringe months ago when I said that The Rock should run for president, but this is why. I see a world where basic popularity and rhetoric could solve a lot of our problems. Take Black Lives Matter. Imagine The Rock saying something like this: yeah, Black Lives Matter. Also, we need cops. Boom. Culture war literally solved. You need somebody so famous, so ubiquitous and above the fray, that they are capable of connecting with people on a visceral level. It's very difficult. And don't get me wrong, from a policy perspective, it may not work out. The Rock has recently been cringe posting with Jeff Bezos. You could say this about the guy, though: he's just as positive in a way that we don't even recognize anymore in our politics. He loves America. He's known by almost every parent in this country because of Moana and other children's movies. He's also one of the most followed people on all of Instagram. Now you might say, well, what is he gonna do? On that, I would tell you this: what are any of these people gonna do?